And so as adults, we've never come to realize that Western medicine has no known cure for any autoimmune disease. Let that sink in. This is why they are called chronic illnesses, that we will have them for the rest of our life, and that there is no known cure. But here the specialists are, making themselves out to be the experts in our autoimmune diseases, using their knowledge of the intricacies of the body, throwing out these huge words to make us believe that they know, and it's all just one big show. They never tell us their own limitations. Specialists are so far away, and this is the truth, from the true root cause of autoimmune disease, that it's actually shocking. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. And I want you to know I've experienced this from both sides, as I've shared my years as a patient in their offices when I had my autoimmune diseases, and now as an autoimmune expert and practitioner. So this spring, we attended an international medicine conference in New York City as exhibitors. And the focus of this conference, the sole purpose of this conference, was autoimmune diseases and how to reverse autoimmune diseases. And we felt like clearly this would be the best fit for us to attend as exhibitors, that we could promote our groundbreaking autoimmune healing program, share about its overwhelming success. They could meet us, meet myself, and then David, my mentor, who both have permanently healed from autoimmune diseases. And we could share our 18 years of research and case studies with them, really letting them know, hey, we have the very solution to the topic of this whole conference. And gosh, were we completely naive. The doctors we spoke to and even the presenters, what I found is that they didn't even understand the basic fact that an autoimmune disease is an immune system problem, not a problem of the tissue or organ being attacked. When I shared with them about what we do in the healing of autoimmune diseases, I was met by these medical professionals and by these doctors with blank stares. They could not comprehend that an autoimmune disease could actually be healed from. Even after meeting me and me sharing my own personal story, it's very clear too that I'm healthy. I did not look like this when I had my autoimmune diseases, and they couldn't connect it. They could not comprehend. And that went along too with the presentation topics. The presentation topics weren't on the only thing that should have been talked about, which was the re-regulation of the immune system. No, these topics were on the symptom management and the symptomatic issues, such as mycotoxins, protein spikes, issues with the vaccine and the foods that we eat. Unfortunately, after this conference, it was very sobering for me. I had to take some time to really let sink in what I experienced there with these medical doctors. And unfortunately, we realized that the doctors and specialists, they don't want to know. They've made such an investment in their education, in their field of expertise, and in their own practices. And they have such strong cognitive dissonance that prevents them from letting in and being able to see any other option for autoimmune disease than their narrow field of education and their narrow field of expertise. And here's what I realized, that what we share and what they share both can't be true, right? One has to be true and one has to be false, and what we share is that autoimmune diseases can be healed from, and that they're actually stemming from an individual's emotional state. And again, we have 18 years of permanently healing autoimmune diseases, whereas they believe that autoimmune diseases are chronic and lifelong, that the treatment is unique to the individual, and that a person will always have them, and that the best we can do is remission. these two ideas cannot coexist together. Again, one has to be truth and one has to be false. The thing is, I'm not a doctor, and we're not here one of them. I don't have my medical degree or license, and I did not go to medical school. But what we do have is efficacy. Efficacy is what we say works actually does. And our own personal experience here of permanently healing our autoimmune diseases and the 18 years of the individuals we've worked with, again, myself being one of them. Also, case studies to back this up. And they don't understand us. And what I found, they didn't want to. They had no interest in understanding what we're really doing here, because if they did, and if they let in what we were sharing at this conference, it would crumble all that they knew. It would crumble who they are, and it would crumble their self-identities as doctors. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. If you have an autoimmune disease or chronic illness, are frustrated with food diets, supplements, and medication, and are ready to permanently heal and no longer have your condition, I have two 13-week online self-guided educational programs, the Autoimmune Healing Program and the Chronic Illness Healing Program. Both programs teach you how to go beyond remission to permanently heal your chronic illness or autoimmune disease, leave behind your doctor's visits and symptom management, and to finally heal without supplements, medication, or food diets. This is the same journey I took and why I'm over 10 years completely healthy. My autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses are permanently healed. You can find the application link for a complimentary course consultation below in the description of this video. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. I look forward to seeing you again soon.